Okay, it's Sunday, November 12th, 2023. And today the topic is don't have to meditation. So uh, I'm going to mute everybody just so we have no background noise here. Okay, great. So, whether you meditate or not, whether you've ever tried to meditate or decided you can't meditate because your mind is too busy and too active, uh, you will not be able to fail at the meditation we're going to do today, because that's the very nature of what I'm going to guide you through. So, many people think they're bad at meditation. It's a very common thing. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to meditate and been like, I suck at it. Right? I'm terrible at meditating. My mind just won't quiet down. I can't focus. All these kinds of things. And through our lens of the joy of doing, the 8 principles, what this shows up as is have tos, right? I have to be able to control my mind. I have to be able to focus. I have to be able to relax. I have to do this or that or the other. So we get into what I call have to mode, or in NLP, we call it modal operators of necessity. It's necessary that, it's have to, must, should, all these sorts of things. So what we end up doing is in an attempt to relieve stress through meditation, which is a lot of people take up meditation to relieve stress, we end up stressing ourselves out, right? By bringing the same sort of rules, the same sort of have tos into meditation or hypnosis or relaxation or whatever it is we're trying to do to de-stress. Because the nature of relaxation is actually this don't have to, this releasing or relaxing of rules or restrictions or musts or shoulds or got to kind of thing. So, what I'd like to do today is guide you through an experience of this. It's a meditation you can't fail at because you don't have to do anything in particular. Your mind doesn't have to do anything. You don't have to take any particular posture. You don't have to be any particular way in order to experience don't have to mode, because the easiest thing in the world. So to begin with, adopt any posture you want. It could be sitting, could stand, could be in a yoga posture, could be doing the robot, could be walking or moving, could lie down. You can't get it wrong. You don't have to be in any particular posture. And you can keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes. Or you could open and close your eyes over and over again. You could do whatever you want with your eyes. I like to close my eyes because I like to relax my eyes and I have eye tension when I keep them open. But you can keep them open, you can close them, you can do whatever you'd like. You're already doing this meditation perfectly. How cool is that? And the next thing is you can either notice your breath or not notice your breath. Either way is fine. Maybe you like to pay attention to your breath and that's really grounding and helps you to relax. Or maybe that kind of stresses you out and you don't like to pay attention to your breath and you'd rather do something else, like pay attention to the space around your body or not pay attention to anything. However you do it is okay. You don't have to do anything in particular. And now just notice the state of your overall being right now, your emotions, your mind, your body. And what if none of that had to be anything other than it is right now? What if your mind didn't have to be quiet? It could be busy. That would be okay too. What if your body didn't have to be relaxed? It can be relaxed. It can be tense. What if either way was okay, actually? What if your emotions didn't have to be calm? They could be calm. If they are calm, that's great. And if they're a torrent or a storm, that's okay too, or anywhere in between. You're already doing the don't have to meditation perfectly. You can't fail at it. And as you do this non-meditation, notice where your thoughts go. Maybe you can pay attention to your thoughts, but you don't have to. If you're not aware of your thoughts, what if that was okay too? And as you continue in this way, if there's any thoughts or feelings that are stressful, notice if there's a have to there. I have to change that. And what if you didn't actually? I don't have to change that. And I can, and I don't have to. What would that be like if you could step into this don't have to kind of mode? And you don't even have to do that. You can be in a have to mode, have to change. You could do that if you want to. That's also okay. And just notice if there's any other have tos that come up now or in your life, starting maybe with yourself. Like, are the things you feel like I have to be this way, or I have to do that, or I have to do it in this way? What are the rules that you have for yourself? I must be this. And if you find any of those, just play for a moment with what would it be like if I didn't have to actually? What if I didn't have to be that way, or didn't have to do that thing, or I didn't have to do that thing in that way? What would that feel like inside? If I really had permission to say no, I really had the freedom to not have to, just as an experiment in this non meditation. And if you'd rather experiment in some other way, you can do that too. You don't even have to do what I suggest. You can't fail at this. You're doing it perfectly. Another way you could explore, and you don't have to, is you could think about other people that maybe you get frustrated with or are challenging in some way to you. And notice what are the have tos there? They have to be this way. They have to do this thing. They have to do this thing in this way. And explore for a moment, just as an experiment. If you don't have to do it, but you could explore. What would it be like if they didn't have to be that way or do that thing or do it in the way that I think? What if they can just be themselves and do whatever they're doing? And you can also ask for what you want assertively or not. You don't have to do that either. And sometimes people also have rules about the world, have tos about the world, things that frustrate us or annoy us or make us angry or sad about the world. Is there anything like that for you? Or there's something about the world you're like stressed about? If so, you could look for the have tos there. The world has to be this way, has to be fair, has to be this way, has to be that way. People have to do this. They have to do it in the way that I like. Look for the have tos and can'ts. You don't have to do that, but I'm just saying you could if you want. And then you could explore what would it be like if the world doesn't have to do things like that? If people don't have to do things the way I want, they can. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. What if nothing had to be other than it is now? What would it feel like if, even for a moment, you believed nothing has to be other than it is, and things can change and improve and get better? What would it feel like if for a moment you believed or you tried on the belief as an experiment? I don't have to be other than I am. There's nothing whatsoever about me that has to change. And I can change. I can take positive action to make things different in my life. I'm capable. What would it feel like to be with another person, a relationship, a friendship, a partnership, and to really believe for even a moment nothing about this person has to change? And I can ask for what I want assertively, communicating my feelings, needs, desires, preferences. And another thing you might experiment with is imagining being surrounded in a circle of people who love and care for you. And if you imagine a circle of people around you who love and care for you, imagine people in the circle saying, You don't have to be other than you are. You don't have to change yourself in any way. And you might also imagine this circle of people around you who love and care for you saying, and we support you in changing in any way you'd like to. You have our support, you have our love, our care, and you can do it. Imagine what it would feel like if you really believed you don't have to do anything to be okay. You don't have to achieve anything. You don't have to accomplish anything. You don't have to change anything about yourself or solve any problem. And imagine at the same time how it would feel to be totally capable of changing something, of solving a problem, of going in a particular direction in life. You just pretend you already had that. And again, you don't have to do any of the things I'm suggesting here. You can do whatever in your mind that you choose to do. If meditation was really about practicing this way of being, where you don't have to do anything, nobody else has to do anything, the world doesn't have to do anything, nothing whatsoever has to happen. So you can't fail. No matter what you do, is fine. And practicing the sense of being capable, having the ability to do things, feeling empowered to live your life by your values, your principles, pursuing the goals that excite and delight you, giving yourself permission to just go for it. Giving yourself permission. I can live the way I want to live. What if you really felt like it was okay to say no to what you don't want because you don't have to do anything? And what if you really felt like it was okay to say yes to what drew you out, made you come alive, what you really deeply want to do and be. What would it be like if you could get your needs met without having to force anything to happen? This exploration is very deep, and you can continue to practice it whenever you would enjoy doing so. For now, I'll invite you to come back into the here and now, into this space and time, taking your time to come fully alert, awake, full of energy, back into the room, wide awake, eyes open, all the way back. And thank you for exploring with me today.